Let me see if I can get this. Yeah. Good
Okay.
afternoon, Dr. Dieter Volc. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this call. It's lovely to speak with you.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's nice to speak to you.
Thank you. So I have known of your name for 3.5 years, but this is our first time actually speaking. Yes. So I've been working with Smovey for the last 3.5 years. And initially it was the original green smoothie.
The green one, yeah.
The green one, yes. So this was the original that was invented by Salzhans, who developed Parkinsons. Did you ever meet him?
Yes, of course. He used to be a patient of mine, but he's living in another part of the country, so he has another doctor now locally because traveling is not so much his thing. He wants to stay in his valley where he's living, and I appreciate that.
Oh,
sometimes
I
we meet in meetings, and yeah.
Ah, okay. So this is even better. Oh, brilliant. So you live in Vienna, is that right then?
Yes, I'm based in Vienna, yeah.
And he lives in Stein.
Yes, which is in the countryside in a very, very beautiful landscape in a valley. And he used to have a tennis camp there.
Yes.
He was a tennis trainer, and he had also a hotel there. And about 25 years ago, he realized that he's moving worse. And then he found out that he had Parkinson's disease. And first of all, he fell into a deep depression and did nothing. And then he realized that making sports would be better. And he started putting some tubes onto his tennis rackets with some iron balls inside and walking with them. This was the first pre-smoothie.
Yeah.
Then he invented another thing which was very stylish, but much too expensive. And then he had the idea with the tubes, with the green tubes. And from that time on, it moved forward. And in the beginning, there was a big, the people, the physiotherapists and occupational therapists didn't like the idea too much. I don't know why, but many of them said, no, that's not good. But the patient community found it very useful, and they used it. And we learned a lot from them.
Yes.
Because in the beginning, it was only the weight, the dynamic weight. If you move the smoothie, you get this power of the weight of the iron balls. And the people said then, no, that's very good for my tremors. If I do it only slightly, so that only these things roll inside, it makes a very good vibration. If I do that, I do not tremor for an hour or two. So we tried to prove that, and we could prove that. So the frequency of the iron balls running over the wire in the tubes makes this vibration sensation on the grip, and this is very good. And then they started to do exercises against edema and different things. So it evolved, it developed. Meanwhile, all our physiotherapists are using the smoothies, and we have in the south of Vienna, there's a rift where you have many thermal wells. So you have a lot of wellness temples there. You have some golf courses, wellness temple, tennis courts, wellness temple, and the people there training the sportsmen and women there, they use a lot the smoothie.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. And how did you, because we have that situation here in Ireland, so I was the first to bring him to Ireland. I came across them. I used to live in Lanzarote 3.5 years ago. And I met a lady who's from Austria, was on her holidays and had them. And she told me about them. And a friend of mine has got Parkinson's. So I introduced her to my friend. And it evolved from there, you know. So 3.5 years later, I'm working with them, and I mainly work myself with people with neurological conditions, but I also have a girl working with me. She's wellness, and she does classes mainly for people with, you know, that are in their 50s and 60s. She herself has got an autistic child, and she works with the child who has autism. She gets on great with them. So she's training up now at the moment to work with autistic children. She will be doing that. So we're very diverse with it here. And it was my initial idea when I came home to Ireland to introduce it to physiotherapists and doctors. And I presumed that because this is a tool that helps people, that will automatically fold out, but that wasn't the case. I get a lot of objections from different, now not everyone, some physios think they're fantastic, more open-minded physios who have tried different therapies and who would be into looking at complementary therapies. They think this is really exciting. But you have some who just, no, I want the scientific research. Everything has to be scientific research. So I was asking Smovey office for the research, but they said it's costing over 100,000 euros.
Yes, that's right.
So as you know, the Smovey office is only a small little office, family run. There's 5 in the office and 7 work in the factory, and everyone in the factory has a physical disability. So it's a small little family run business. They don't have 100,000 euros for this research. And I think their attitude is like, buy them if you want, don't buy them if you don't want. You know, that's very much like how they go. So but
you know, that's the same experience we had.
Right.
It's the same experience. So you have a lot of objections in the beginning, but stick with it, because after 2 years they will see that it is helpful and they will use it.
Oh, absolutely. Like what I do now is I don't approach physiotherapists, I don't approach therapists anymore. They come to me if they want to work with it, because I don't see myself as a salesperson to sell this. I am introducing this to people who want to feel the benefits of it. And that is how I work. And I work with so many different people, from children to my youngest client that got amazing results was a 4-year-old who had digestive issues. She could never have a natural movement. So the vibration really helped with her constipation. And her mother, this was in Australia, her mother was a nurse, brought her to every doctor she could find to try and help her, and she couldn't. So they were really, really worried about this. And my oldest client is 92 years of age, and this movie has really helped with her balance, you know, and it's just amazing, absolutely amazing, you know. But since then, nearly a year now, I suppose, maybe, nearly, I know, in October, we were introduced to the Smovey Med, which is the new one. So this is the one by Dr. Ivan Di Stefano, the neurologist, and he is doing the research with it in Australia, in Switzerland, and also we're doing it here in Waterford. So there's it's not a university, it's a technical college with sports and science, and we're ready to start with the research there. So we're working towards it. However, what I find with my clients is they don't care so much about the research. They want to know, they want to work with this product. Does it help them? Yes, it does. So you know, that's my primary focus, is working with people directly themselves. And
that's the best approach anyway.
Do you think so? Yeah. Because
they spread the news. They have the snowball effect.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. But I just thought maybe it was a bit naive that physiotherapists and doctors, they would see that this is a benefit and roll it out from there. But it's people with Parkinson's,
Yeah.
people with MS, people with autism, they're the
Right.
people, yeah, who are doing it.
Right.
Yeah. And did you find, can you kind of go back to when Salzhans was diagnosed first? Because I read, like, I met Saltzhans and he's a fabulous man, and I met him when I went over to Austria for the training, and he's a really great attitude. He's a real powerful, positive man. But he did tell me, and I've read before in articles, that when he was diagnosed, he actually needed help from nurses, and like he was quite not disabled, but quite needed constant care.
He was quite disabled.
Would you say that?
I would say, yeah.
Okay. So how can you go, like, because we hear so much, and I go to so many talks about Parkinson's, and you just hear it's a neurological degenerative condition, and my clients hear their feedback all the time that I'm going to get worse. So this is what they say, that they're going to get worse. So how is it then, from a neurologist's point of view, a man who was disabled can then go on to ski the Alps? How can you go from needing this help with a degenerative condition to skiing the Alps?
First of all, you need to have proper diagnosis, and this was not the case in the beginning. So he had no treatment because he had no diagnosis. Then he got the diagnosis, he got the treatment, and he became better. But he realized that only taking pills only is not the solution. You have to take the pills because Parkinson's disease is a chemical disease, basically. So you have a deficit of some substances, you can distribute those substances, and then it becomes better. That's the one half. The second half is that you have to stay in training, because the best medication cannot help if there are no muscles. And you have to train your muscles, you have to train your coordination, you have to train your balance, and you have to train it every day. It's not enough to go to the physios once a week and you walk in there with small steps, then you make big and loud in there, and then you walk home in little steps. This is what I talk all the day, because I tell my people, my patients, don't walk with your tiny steps into the physio's office, make big and loud therapy there, and walk home with the little steps. You have to take it into your common movement, into your normal daily life, and you have to implement it. Your automatic motor system is not working, but you have a brain with which you can override it and tell your body to function. The more you train, the better you become. And you can see it with Salzhans, who has the right attitude meanwhile, and who is always thinking about what can I do to train my body, what can I do to be better, and also to accept it need not be 100% for 24 hours every day. There are phases inside, and there's a citation from one of his talks. If the semaphore, if the red light is red, you have to wait. It will become green sometime. So wait until the green comes and then go on. And what he says then is, hear some music, relax, make a meditation, take the smoothies, whatever. But if you have a red light which says stop to your body, then accept it and do stop. What you always find then with doctors and with patients, because they want to have it, give me more medication, give me more medication. I want to run 24 hours every day. This is not possible if you have Parkinson's disease for 10, 12, 15 years. So you have to accept also that you have stops in some periods of your day, and then you have to stop. On the other hand, if you have a good phase, you have to stay mobile, trained, doing, socialize, go outside, and not stay at home, which Parkinsonian people do mostly. They sit at home and wait until it becomes better.
Yeah, yeah, I know from my own studies that socializing is really, really important with it, and that creates BDNF, so brain-derived neurotraffic factor, which is really important for your own development.
You know, there's a very good study which came out a few weeks ago where they have the 10 key points not to become demented. Number 5, I forgot what the single things are. Number 5 is the doctor's interventions. Number 1 is social contacts.
Wow, really? Wow.
So you have to be in contact with the people, be it personally, be it via Zoom, or stay connected via some devices with the whole world. And especially Parkinsonian patients do use a lot of this communication technology, because they are not so good mobile, but they are normally brain-wise not so bad. So they have a window into the world, and also they stay connected with the loved ones and with their families and friends if they cannot meet them so often.
Yeah.
And I force them to do so. I also do via. I will have a closed loop system in a few weeks from the software company which makes the medical office software, and I develop this with them, that I can talk to my patients at home, so they need not come every time, because they are not only in my surrounding, they live 200, 300 kilometers afar, so coming to Vienna is not so easy for them.
Yes.
And for some short visits, you can do it also online, like we do it now. You have perfect transmission for finger tapping and all those tasks we are doing with the patients. You can really do it online. A few foreign patients, especially from Russia and Ukraine and Bulgaria, for them traveling is very expensive, and they do not have the resources to travel. But we do a lot of things online, and they come once a year.
Oh,
so
very good.
you can do many things nowadays, and I think we should work very hard on this connecting people thing.
Absolutely. So if some of our Parkinson's community in Ireland wanted to speak with you directly, could they contact you?
Normally, I have to put it that way. Normally, if I have a Skype contact with somebody, I have investigated on them before personally, because I want to really have the story, the investigation, put my hands on them. Then when I know somebody, and when I say do this and that, and I have to check it in 3 weeks' time or in 2 months' time, then we do a Skype conference. But not for the first contact. That makes no sense.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, but that's a fantastic solution for people who have to travel. So if they go meet with you once, twice in person, and then they don't have to travel so much for the next trip. That's a really, I don't know if they do that here in Ireland, but it's a great solution.
What I also do and want to do more in the future is, sometimes people make a lot of an effort to come to an appointment. And after 10 minutes, I tell them, this is completely senseless. You have the right diagnosis. You have not Parkinson's disease, of course, but multiple system atrophy, PSP or something. You have the right diagnosis. You have seen 10 doctors. Everybody said the same. Everybody told you there is no solution. This is a disabling disease that will become worse within only a few years or even months. Nobody can help you on this earth. Don't travel so far to me. So for people where I have the feeling, or the people themselves have the feeling, there is no help, but I want to take this straw. Perhaps this guru can tell me the solution for that. To talk to them 5 minutes or 10 minutes, say, okay, I see all your reports. I can see that the diagnosis is right. Don't travel to Vienna, save the 2,000 euro you have to spend on that. Or I can tell them, okay, it looks like I can do something for you because we do this and that in a different way.
Yeah.
So that might be useful in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And you just mentioned meditation there. Do you find meditation is good for people with Parkinson's?
Everything is good for people with Parkinson's if they want to do it and they like it. Sitting on a horse can be very good for the one person and is a dreadful idea and experience for the other one. Meditation might be good for someone who has a connection to that. Need not be that they are meditating the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Perhaps they start while they have Parkinson's disease. But if they have an approach to it, it is fine. And you can use everything. So what we use since years is meditation, Tai Chi, Qigong, all those Asian approach to well-being, I would say, not to health.
Yeah. I'm a yoga instructor also.
Oh.
And at the moment I'm doing like an intensive meditation course. And we're trying all different types of meditation. It's fascinating, really, really fascinating. So I have, I run Parkinson's courses, and I've introduced meditation to some of my clients, and some just like, no, don't want to do it. No.
Yes, sure.
Yeah. But
sure.
Last week we did a thing on dance meditation. And that was really, really great. And I'm going to introduce that now. And I thought that was really good. And I actually know my clients who said no to regular meditation before, but I'm sure that they will like this one. So it's really good to have different offers for people.
Yes, right. Because people are different and they like different things. Because you mentioned dancing, we have a dance course since 8 years now, running every week, which is the normal dancing, so standard dances and Latin American dances, as you have it in the tournaments, and it's also a completely normal dancing school where the young people go to learn dancing, to go to the Viennese balls. Dancing is very common. This standard dancing is very common and social in Austria.
Yeah.
And this is very good. There's a lot of literature about it. Then there's another lady who does classes not pair-wise, which is not so easy. You find a lot of women who want to go dancing, but you don't find the men to dance with them. So in this other group,
same in Ireland.
it's the same. They
At
do it all
age.
together. And there's one guy in Venice, Italy.
Yeah.
He's a neurologist there, and he's doing Irish line dance.
I know that story. Yeah, I actually was at a health conference last year, and he spoke.
Yeah, he had been there. Yeah, he had been there.
Yeah.
I missed him one day. This was the time we had been over. I missed him one day. He was there the day before.
Oh, you were there as well in that health conference. Oh no, we missed.
No, I hadn't been at the health conference. I arrived a day later. It was finished the day before. Unfortunately, I didn't know before. I only found out when I was there.
Yes, because he was in County Clare, which is so we were talking already. Your wife is half Irish, so you're familiar with Ireland. But he was just in a pub observing this man. He noticed shuffling over, and
that's the story. So he found out.
So it's amazing. So the beat can really, really help with your steps and the metronome, and
And also because you mentioned we talked about insoles before. Years ago, we made the first music CD for Parkinsonian patients. There's one guy in Salzburg at the Physiology Institute there, and he used to be the director or the head of the pain society in Austria. So he made a lot of music things and meditation music for pain.
Right.
And we did a project together where we had music for Parkinsonian patients, and it was guided meditation, self-meditation, and it was also the Radetzky March. You know the Radetzky March?
No, no.
Radetzky March is the most famous march in the world, especially in Austria. Radetzky was a general in old imperial Austria, and if I try to sing it,
Okay.
perhaps you recognize it. It's da-da-dum, 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 dum, dum, da-da-dum, 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 dum, dum.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
this is a rhythm with 60, so one stroke per second.
Yeah.
Which the physiologists found out is very good for walking. Therefore, it's a very much appreciated march in the military because they can really walk to that.
Mm-hmm.
And we had one lady in this developing team who had Parkinson's, who has still has Parkinson's disease, and she was, if she was off medication, she was hardly able to walk. And only with the earphones and the MP3 player playing the Radetzky March, she was able to do a whole tour in a big gymnastic room.
Wow.
And on the way backwards, she did it backwards.
Wow.
Walking backwards, which is impossible for
Yeah,
Parkinsonian patients. So we brought out the CDs then, and you could do it. But it was always the problem. If you have a freezing in the middle of the town, you have to fuddle out your earphones and you have to pop it into an MP3 player, and then you have to search for the Radetzky March. That never works.
Yeah.
So when we started with the insoles, we thought about the hearing device and Bluetooth to send it up there. But at the moment we are with the vibrators because that's easier to implement directly into the soles. You have all the things in the shoe, and you need not have a second device to put it someplace.
Yes.
So it might be easier.
Yes. So you were talking about these new insoles you're making at the moment. Can you tell me a bit about those?
Yeah, it's the idea is people with Parkinson's after a while tend to freeze. So they walk and then they freeze and cannot start. So they start with tiny steps and then perhaps it goes again, sometimes not. And they develop a lot of cues themselves, stepping over something, making some noise, counting 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then they can start. But many of the people cannot cope with the coping. Yeah. So they need something which puts them on march again. So if the intelligent soul recognizes that you have a freezing, it starts to vibrate in a special rhythm, and we have to find out which one it is. And then you get them started again. So we are testing these devices at the moment, and the one team, the youngster team, wants to bring it out as a viable product.
Fantastic. And would that be? Are you just going to market that for people who already have Parkinson's, or would that?
Yes. That's for people with Parkinson's after a while. So let's say after 10 to 15 years.
Okay, I really look forward to that. And
I keep you informed.
Yeah, please do. And so the vibration that is coming up from the soles of the feet, is that kind of then like the vibration effect with the smoothies, that the vibration travels up to the central nervous system?
I think so. No, what was interesting, 60% of the people we tested had polyneuropathy. So they couldn't feel the vibration on their soles, and still it worked.
Okay.
So it is not only that you feel an impulse now and then you start because you feel an impulse.
Yeah.
The impulse travels through the nervous system regardless if you feel it or not.
Wow. So how do you nearly explain that? You know, it's quite hard to understand that.
Yes, we have to measure it. We have to find it out. I don't know it now. I have some ideas about that, but I really don't know exactly how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. So I know when I'm explaining for people with using the smovey, so the vibrations, when you swing it, it activates the reflex zones in the palm of your hand. And the
Will
vibration.
be the same. Yeah, will be the same at the feet, I suppose, because you do not feel anything because the some of the sensible nerves are damaged, but you have some other nerves where you do not transport feeling, but other sensations.
Yes,
and I think that's the ones who bring the signal to the brain, or even the signal only to the
spine.
Not spine, inside the spine, the medulla. How do you call that in English? You know, the long thing coming from the brain down and then going out into the nerves.
Yeah.
I forgot the name.
The medulla.
The medulla.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's so easy because English-speaking people always use the Latin words.
No, your English, oh my God, your English is brilliant. Oh my God. How come your English is so good? Did you go to college or university in America or?
No, we learn English from early school times on, and then the whole medical community is talking English.
Right.
So there's no meeting in the world where do not talk English.
Oh, right. Okay. It's brilliant. I did French in school, but I can't really speak French. I lived in Switzerland for a year. I can't really speak German. So this is great to be able to speak to you so well. I want to thank you so much, Doctor, for all your help. You've been absolutely fantastic. And it's mad because I didn't even know you were Salzhans neurologist from the start. So it's really, really lovely. Really, really nice. And he's doing really good. Doesn't he have the most best attitude of a person? He really is fantastic, isn't he?
In his life, and he's really an optimistic guy, and he overrided all that with his mind.
Yeah.
So there's a really exceptional mindset he has, and also if you have him as somebody attending a patient's meeting, and he used to do that a lot in former years, he really has a charisma to take all the people along and really to turn them around, and turn around their thinking, so that they say, what Salzhans can, I can as well.
Yes.
So I saw that a lot. So that's really good. One needs to have such guys in the Parkinsonian community.
Yes, for sure. And when I went over 3 years ago to do my training in Austria, I told him that I really, Parkinson's was my my passion to really, because like there's so little support in Ireland to help people with Parkinson's. Like we only have 5 specific Parkinson's nurses in the Republic, and Northern Ireland has 30, and we only have 5 in the whole of the Republic, and there's very little service. And my friend who has Parkinson's was telling me all about this, so I said, oh, you know, I'll have a look at just going into just with Parkinson's. But I couldn't believe how this tool was so effective, so immediately so effective. So I just kind of got to know more and more people with Parkinson's, more and more people. And I didn't realize, even though my friend has Parkinson's, I didn't realize how debilitating the condition is. And, you know, the depression can be so quick and so debilitating, and there's so many other things about it. And yet this simple tool could help. So for me, it was just kind of like, yeah, we'll do it. But my Parkinson's community, which are now great, great friends, they actually have helped me through some tough times I was kind of going through myself. And I can see if people with Parkinson's who have such a debilitating condition can be so positive and work through it, really, really work hard and work through it, it helps me get on. I have to get over myself and my own issues, you know, because I see these people are such fighters, really, really great fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree completely. Many people say, how can you stand being only with Parkinsonian patients for more than 30 years? And I always have to say them, no, it's the other way around. I get so much back from them.
Yeah.
And you have to, of course, you have to leave sometimes the normal medical idea of healing something. If you come out of university, you are trained to heal. And you're the big guy who can heal more or less everything. Then you find out that the reality is completely different, and that 99% of all the patients start to go on their way down, and you have to accompany them.
Mm-hmm.
But you get back a lot. You get
Yeah.
back really a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're so grateful to have the support and to know that you're there trying to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get so much love from my Parkinson's clients that,
Yeah.
as I say, they're my friends, and a couple of them really wanted me to feel and see what it's like for them without the medication. So that's
Mm-hmm.
a very, very, very vulnerable time. So I've stayed with people in their houses so I can see like the next day, next morning, what they're like without medication, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
just hugging somebody like that who is shaken and who is really like at their most vulnerable state is, yeah, it's obviously a very honor and a privilege that somebody would trust me with that.
Mm-hmm.
So they make me feel like that, so that drives me to help me support and to help them as much as I can.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the way it is. Yeah.
yeah.
You have to
So,
live with them together to learn about them. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So this conversation, Dieter, has been really fantastic because I have so many Parkinson's clients that really, really are huge supporters of Smovey and really love it and go forth with it. But also a lot of people contact me going, oh, my physio said that doesn't work, and oh, if it's so good, why is it not out in mainstream? And a lot of people who want to try it, but they're afraid because it's quite expensive, you know. So the new ones are the blue ones are 130 euros.
Yeah,
So
that's a lot. Yeah.
yeah, it is a lot, but if you use them as directed every day, you will find that people get it, that they find it's such great. It actually is really good value for money when you use it every day and feel the benefits, you know. But if somebody is not getting any benefit from it, I offer, not Smovey, I offer a 30-day money back guarantee, you know. So
No, that's
yeah, yeah. So if somebody has it and they're not getting benefit from it, I don't want them to keep it.
Mm.
It's not good for anybody if that's not happening.
And how many did you get back?
I got 6 back in
Really?
3.5 years, but 2 of those bought them back again
Yeah, this is
because
what I thought. Yeah.
their physio they bought them and they showed them to their physio, and the physio said, no, that's just a gimmick, you know, like a toy, that doesn't work. So they just said, my physio said this, and I, okay, no problem. I don't want to make them feel bad. And again, it's not up to me to try and persuade somebody to get this. They want it. They have to believe in it. When they pick these rings up, they have to believe in that. So within 6 months, one 4 months later, and the other would 5-6 months, rang me again. Oh, Irene, can I get that Smovey back, please? Oh, yeah, sure. What's happened? Oh, Mary from our Parkinson's group, she's getting great results from it. And the other one, oh, Pat down the road, his balance is really after improving. It's really, he noticed the difference. So they get it again, you know. But
as soon as they talk to each other, it becomes better.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think it's just a matter of time before it is huge.
It is.
Huge. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great.
It took a long time here in
Yeah,
Austria until it was mainstream.
yeah,
And it was not so much the doctors and the physios, it was the people
yeah,
themselves who used it.
yeah, yeah. And is it pretty mainstream in Austria now?
Meanwhile, yes, I would say yes. Everybody knows it, and many of the people have it before they see me the first time.
Oh, really? Yeah. And would you recommend it to your patients?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Good, good, good. Okay, doctor. Well, thank you so much. And I hope to see you in Ireland someday.
I hope so. Waterford is a nice area.
Yeah, yeah. Come out and go surfing in Tremor. Well, I won't.
So next time before we come to Ireland, I'll let you know.
Please do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Irene, bye bye. Have a nice afternoon.